everyone, it's Helen here from Bodywork-Pilates, and I just want to run through one of the transitions that we talk about a lot in classes. And it's the transition from lying on the back with the knees bent to bringing the knees either into the chest or into a tabletop position. And it's really important that we go through this. So many people that we see have some weakness or some issues around the low back. So it's really important that you can transition safely from one position to the next. The transitions, as we always say, are as important as the actual movements. So this is what we talk about. So if I lay myself carefully down, okay. So I'm lying in the supine position, I'm faced up, I've got my feet to the floor, my knees are bent, and I've got my back in a natural curve. So I'm neither flattening nor overarching my back. So I want to be able to care for my back through my transitions. So if I had a weakness in my low back and I just brought my knees into my chest without thinking, then there's a very good chance that the weight of my feet coming off the floor at the same time would pull me into an excessive arch away from my neutral, because I wouldn't be thinking about my transitions. So very often I see people, when they're not thinking about what they're doing, they go to lift their feet off the floor and they pull forward before they pull back. So they get this seesaw action that yanks their back into hyperextension and doesn't maintain their position. And that very often happens when people are invited just to take a hug, a relax, a stretch, because they're not thinking about it as a movement. But what we tend to do is we talk about bringing the knees into the chest one knee at a time. So we always say bring one knee into the chest and then the other. And yes, in this position the back will flatten, and that's fine. Then you get your little stretch that goes across the glutes and you can massage your low back into the floor. And then, just as importantly, we replace one foot and then the other back down to the floor. So we load the back carefully and we unload the back carefully, even if we're only pulling into a stretch. And it's just as important when we come to tabletop. So when we lift one leg up to our tabletop position and then we bring the second, we haven't changed that back position, we've maintained that natural curve. And then equally, when we put the foot back down, we put the foot back down. So we always lift one leg at a time and release one leg at a time. The transitions are just as important as the actual movement. And for the care of your back, it's important that you should remember to load and unload your back as thoughtfully as you do any one of your Pilates exercises. So I hope that's helpful, and we'll see you in class. Take care.